a reassurance to say, don't think they don't want you around, they do. We just have to figure out how to be there without making it a problem, you know? And that's why we have to work on how we say things and so on. Now we're going to be looking at that. Now, I have a video here. This gentleman is going to be talking about the whole why we need to look at parent coaching as a viable option. And the thing is, he's a life coach as well. He uses this with his children and teaches it to parents. What I like about this video is he really spells out the logic of why this is the only next wise step to take. And I'm hoping you can hear it clearly because he's Australian and so he has a little accent, but we're going to try. And when he's finished, if you didn't hear it properly, I'll just summarize what he said. So let's look at this video together.
I'm Saver, the founder of Parent-Teenager Relationship Saver, and welcome to this next training video titled Mastering 3 Distinct Parenting Roles is your ticket to creating a wonderful parent-teenager relationship. I want to share with you today a very important concept for you to grasp to effectively parent your teenager so that you can create a warm, loving and respectful parent-teenager relationship. Now, once you become a parent to a child, that relationship fundamentally never changes. Whether your child is 5 years, 15 or 75 years of age, they will always be your child. However, to serve your growing child best, your role as a parent, how you conduct yourself in front of your children, should evolve over time. Now, the author, Diana Sterling, in her book, The Parent as Coach Approach, speaks of 3 distinct phases or 3 distinct roles as a parent in the first 20 years of your child's life. From 0 to 6, the fundamental role of a parent is as a teacher. This is when your child is totally dependent upon you. So as a parent, you spend literally thousands of hours feeding, bathing, cleaning, after rocking, reading, playing with your child. Then comes the middle years, from about age 7 to 12. Whilst you retain your role as a teacher, you take on the additional role as an administrator. By now your child has learned to read, and with that they've also begun to initiate their own activities and form their own social groups. At the same time, they need an adult in their life who can do things such as provide transport, help organise their events, and also organise their schedule. Then we come to the teenage and adolescent years from 13 to 20. And to successfully navigate this period of your child's life, it is most desired that you make the shift from being parent as administrator to becoming parent as coach. So by age 13, the intellectual processes of your child have expanded considerably, making it possible for abstract thought. At the same time, their capacity to make their own decisions and manage their schedule has increased exponentially. But also, their emotional need, the most important emotional need they have is to become independent. So if you're aware of this change, and if you're wise as a parent, you will resign as an administrator and become a parent coach. And if you don't, frankly speaking, you will be fired. So what this means, from about age 13, as a parent, we need to make the conscious decision. Do I continue to micromanage/nag my teenager to brush their teeth, to get enough rest, to do their homework and so on and so forth, or do I transition and support them in the position of parent as coach? If you choose to micromanage and nag your teenager, you will almost definitely experience lots of conflict and struggle with your teenager, which is the experience, I dare say, of most parents. Alternatively, if you make a choice to transition from becoming an administrator to becoming a coach, you can support your teenager in a very wonderful way as they emerge as a responsible, independent adult. This is Paul Saver of Parent-Teenager Relationship Savers signing off, wishing you success as you successfully make the transition from parent.
Did you understand what he was saying? He was basically going over the different stages, just like we were saying, and it does look so logical when he says it, doesn't it? And you know, it's like, how come you couldn't see that? And what I noticed that he mentioned was the conflict that comes out of us trying to treat them as if they were not yet growing up, which they are. Some of us are in a little denial about that, but the truth is they are. And that they hate that. Okay, mommy, okay, I heard. Anyone ever heard that before? Okay, right. I heard you. That's the micromanaging that he's talking about. And he used the word instead that we should be doing, which is support. So yes, they don't do everything they should do, but if you are, let's put ourselves back in the coaching role. If you have somebody coaching that you believe in, you see their potential, you know they're not perfect, but you really want to see them achieve that potential, then even when they don't act appropriately, when you are trying to give them what they need, you will find another strategy because you're so invested in that person. And coaches tend to earn money the more success they're at least have. Am I not correct? Yes. Could we say then that if we had a promise of a nice big check at the end of this time, we would work harder or smarter? Would we? Suppose let's say, all right, if your child turned out good, pass all their subjects, get a good job, go to university, excel, you get $2 million. Wouldn't we all be experts?
Yes.
You know, the real problem is that we're just frustrated and tired. And so we need to be motivated our own selves. But then when you think, like my son who just left home in the summer, but the truth is that I have been preparing myself for that day since he was 4 when I told him that he is going to have to go overseas to study because he can't stay with me. Yes, I did say that. And do you know why? Because I thought, nobody said why, you want to know? Okay. Because I thought, yes, he's being trained in a lot of ways. I've trained him how to be a good person. He's going to school and getting an education. But he needs to understand life. And he sure thought he knew it all when he was with us. Isn't that so, my dear husband? We would hear him say things and we would say, Dan, you really don't really get it. And he said, yes, I know. And somehow I could tell that this child was someone who needed to go so that he could see for himself what is really true and learn so that by the time he finished university, he would be closer to what a man is supposed to be than just a boy who is intelligent but not so smart, if you know what I mean. And so when he left, I was actually happy person, and I feel like he is doing very well. I'm very comfortable because I know he won't do everything right, but that's fine. That's part of the learning process. I have done what I'm supposed to do. And so he's now getting what we all need to prepare ourselves to give to our children, which is a chance to be independent. We all made mistakes. When we got our independence, we never did it all of it right, you know. Anybody here was perfect? None of us were. And sometimes we act with our children like we are and always were perfect. But they know better, and so we have to prepare ourselves to get ready to go, having the knowledge that we have instilled in them, the values, very important. Go and use this information wisely. And that's why you need to take that period of time that he recommended, the 13 to 20, take it, because you're going to need every second You are now at the 15, 16, 17. Use it. You will need every second so that when they do leave, you will be able to breathe and sleep at night. It's not too late. So now let's look at actually what you do. There are specific steps, they are outlined on your handout here. There are 7 ways that you are going to follow these steps. This is how you become an effective parenting coach. And while you're looking at those steps, I want you to be thinking about what do I do these things that are here? Do I do some of them and maybe not all of them? If you know that you are not actually doing all of them, make a note of those things. Because you're going to go home and you're going to practice. Maybe not tonight, but I do want you to at least see if you get a different effect. So this is the same gentleman. He's now going to outline the steps and give you a little synopsis of each, and then we can talk about it.
David back again, the founder of Parent-Teenager Relationships, David, and welcome to this second instalment of this next training video titled, Do You Command, Rescue or Coach Your Teenager? In the previous video, I highlighted 2 most common parenting styles, that being parent as commander and parent as rescuer. And I mentioned that both styles are problematic, point of view of both these styles tending to stifle the growth of a teenager towards becoming a responsible, independent adult with a positive self-image.